Hi, my babies, and welcome back to another video. It's your girl, Virgo Garden. If you don't know, now you know. Anything you need to know about little old me will be down below in the description box. You do not have to be a Virgo to watch this video. Alright, babies, back with another Sunday in Mimosa. It's about time I talk about this one here. I already know it's going to be long as fuck, so go on, buckle up. Get you something to eat, something to drink, roll up, pull up, okay? Mimosa preferably. But yeah, we're going to have to talk about this character here. But before we do, quick announcements on the website. The Black Friday sale is still going on. Everything Queen Alchemy is 25% off. Enter the code. I think it's Black Queen Friday 21 at checkout. It should be down in the description box, y'all. So, yes, when you don't listen to your intuition, today we're going to be talking about a gentleman, and I do use that terminology very loosely, named, we're going to call him Ron, because we don't, want no issues with legal stuff. So, Ron is a character, and I do mean a character, that I met at Mac's house, yes. Mac from the, I don't know which Sunday Mimosa that was, y'all. How the company you keep affects you, that Mac. I told y'all, everybody used to go over this man's house. So I met, Ron there, and he had just got out the Merchant Seamen's, and back in the day, he was known for always having the name brands, and I guess he was kind of known for back in the day for having a little bit of money or whatever, because he was in the Merchant Seamen's, and he did buy his sister and his abusive ass baby mama. He bought them both chargers or whatever. So, y'all, basically, he's superficial as hell, okay? He's shallow as hell, and just not my cup of tea, to be quite honest with you. So, how we met was, everybody was meeting up at Mac's house because a mutual friend was doing a open mic, a poetry open mic or whatever. So, everybody wanted to go and support him. So, we all go to the open mic or whatever. And then we all decided to go back to Mac's house to meet up or whatever, kick it, smoke, just have a good time, y'all. Just have a good time. So, in that time period of us kicking it after the open mic, apparently Ron developed a crush on me. Because I've been told by a lot of people, I got good conversation. That's only if you pique my interest to have good conversation. I could be around you quiet as a motherfucking church mouse if I ain't interested in what the fuck you talking about. Now, in the process of us all being over there, kicking it and whatnot, a little tipsy, a lot of high, this girl named Mary was over there too. Now, this is where my fucking flag was at right here. This is where my warning was at right here. Okay? Because this was kind of around the time I just started hanging back around Mac's house again. And Mary pulled me outside. And she was like, I just want to have a conversation with you. Do y'all know, this lady pulled me outside to her car to tell me that she has herpes, and she wanted to be the first person to tell me before somebody else told me. And I'm sitting there like, okay. She was like, well, I just want to let you know that I do have herpes. And I was like, girl, I'm not going to sleep with you. So I'm like, why are you telling me your business for? She was like, well, I just didn't want one of them to tell you because that has happened before. And I'm like, what do you mean that has happened before? So basically, Ron's cousin, who ironically name is also Ron, so we're going to call him Ron too. Me and Ron too can't get along worth a motherfucker. I need to make a Sunday Mimosa about his bitch ass. Ron too used to talk to Mary. And Mary, being the sweet, loving person that she is, thinking that she could tell that man that shit in confidence. And she told him that because I guess they were talking about sleeping together. So she's trying to be, a responsible adult and shit. Like she should be when you have them type of conditions. And this nigga goes back and tells everybody that, oh, this bitch got herpes. And I'm sitting in this lady car like, yo, that shit ain't cool that they did that shit at all. So now I'm sitting here like, okay, well, I know I can't tell anybody in this motherfucker shit, okay? Like, damn. But that just lets you know how childish these people are. The fact that grown ass men are running their mouths about a fucking female. Okay? And I'm gonna be quite honest with you, all this unity, we gotta have unity in the community is some bullshit. Because until black women and black men start respecting each other as they are valuable, as they are, we ain't gonna get no fucking where. I just need to throw that in there because I'm real sick of the shits. Okay, I'm real sick of the shits. I love my people, but I'm sick of the shits. Now, so, this is also around the time when me and Papi Chulo started talking. I think that's when you fall in love for the wrong reason, Sunday Mimosa. Yeah, okay? That's why you need to keep up with them, because then you're going to know the people that I'm talking about. And you really get an insight in the story. Now, I bring Papi Chulo around. Papi Chulo in the Navy. Papi Chulo also got a side job, okay? So they looking at him like, oh. And then on top of that, I told y'all Papi Chulo was Puerto Rican. So they already feeling some type of way. They is already feeling some type of way, yo. Like, oh, so a black man ain't good enough for you. No, it's not that a black man ain't good enough for me, but to be quite honest with you, and I ain't even trying to be funny, but this shit is still funny. All men cheat, okay? It doesn't matter what race they are. I'm not saying every man cheats, but I'm saying all races cheat. All men cheat, okay? It doesn't matter what race they are. There is a man in that race or that ethnic background that cheats is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying all of y'all cheat. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? However, in my experience with dating black men and also with dating Latin men, because I have dated 2 Puerto Ricans and I have also dated a Cuban. The Latin men treat me, or the Hispanic men treat me better. Yeah, I might get cheated on, but damn, at least I get treated like a queen while I'm getting cheated on. That's all I'm saying. No diss to my black men. Y'all know I love y'all. Y'all my black kings. Y'all know I love y'all. But that was part of the debate, though, that was going on about that shit as well. So that's some of the things I had to deal with. Just to give you a little bit more insight. So yeah, it was a lot of jealousy and shit going on with Papi Chulo. Like, they was basically acting like they was his friend and they was cool with him, and they weren't. They was jealous and they was hating, especially Ron, because Ron was like, oh, well, me and this nigga had the same job. No, y'all didn't. He was actually in the military. You, dear sir, cleaned the deck for a living, okay? Let's not even play around like that. No diss to anybody that is currently in the merchant seaman, but we're not gonna act like the merchant seaman in the Navy is the same goddamn shit, and it's not, though. Okay? 'Cause I know plenty of people in the merchant seaman. They all tell me that's the easiest fucking job they ever had in their life. I'm not trying to hear that. Okay? So, he was hating on him because he was in the Navy. He was hating on him because he had a little bit of money. He was hating on him because he was light-skinned with, quote-unquote, what people like to call good hair. That's not my definition of good hair, but okay. He had a car, you know what I'm saying? Like, just stuff that he wished that he had. So, Ron, being the shallow-ass motherfucker that he is, thinking, oh, that's why I like him. No, I like him because he actually fucking listens. He actually fucking respects me. He actually fucking sees me as a value and not just a pussy pocket. Thank you very much. All right. I'm not just a trophy wife to that man. And that's why I fuck with Papi Chulo. Because we were actually building. So, this is where shit starts going left with me and Ron's friendship, okay? So, Papi Chulo left, and I kind of wasn't really feeling being around everybody because all they fakeness started coming out. I'm like, well, damn, if y'all can smile in that man's face like that and then talk about him like a dog, y'all damn sure gonna do the same thing to me. So, I wasn't coming over like that, and Mac wanted to see me, and he was like, you should come over. Ron's having a cookout at his house. So, my dumb ass decides, okay, fine, let me get out the house, I'm gonna go. So, I go. But I go pick up Bria, my cousin Bria I told y'all about. And Bria at the time is 7.5 months pregnant with her 3rd child. And she also has her 3-year-old daughter with her. So, I'm thinking we're going to, a family-oriented type cookout, okay? We get there, and this man is drunk. And when I say drunk, he's no longer on this earth drunk, okay? He's beyond drunk. I go look at the grill. Now, one thing about me, I can cook. I have not learned how to grill yet. Because I can't find somebody that actually knows what they're doing or that I trust to actually teach me how to do it. So I go look at the grill. Y'all, when I say them burgers was so burnt, they was small. Okay, they shrunk up so bad because they was so burnt. They look like charcoal pieces. They look like charcoal pieces, and I'm like, yeah, won't be eating the burgers. I'm good. I'm good on the burgers. Like, nah, I stopped by Cookout. That's a burger fast food restaurant out here. I'm like, yeah, I can stop by Cookout on the way back, bruh. Okay, I don't even need that in my life. I'm good. But he gets excited because I'm there, and he was basically trying to treat us like we royalty. He was like, oh, I'm gonna go in the house and go get y'all some cups and some ice for you and the baby and your cousin. I'm like, okay. So we were out there about 5-10 minutes, and I'm like, damn, did he pass out? Like, he taking a long time to go get some ice and put it in a cup? Like, damn, it shouldn't be taking this long. So I go in the house to go see what's taking so long, and as I'm walking up to the kitchen, I am talking to one of our mutual friends, and he talking about how bad he wants me and how he wants to marry me and how I'm gonna be his wife one day. And y'all, when I say I turned around and ran out the house so fast, like that, I know that shit had to been funny because my homeboy was standing in the doorway of the kitchen and he could see me, but Ron couldn't see me. And my homeboy saw me walking up and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna make Nina my wife." I turned around and ran out so quick, my homeboy busted out laughing. Oh my God. I ran outside, Mac and Bria like, "What's wrong? What's wrong? You okay?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, we gotta go. We gotta go. Oh no, we're not staying here. We gotta go." He in the kitchen talking about he wanna make me his wife. Oh no, we gotta go. And they laughing at me. And my cousin was like, "See, I told you. I told you. We need to go ahead and leave him alone. I told you." And I'm like, "Oh hell no." So Mac was like, he ready to go home anyway. So he was like, we could just go to my house. Now Mac stays in the same neighborhood. This is the neighborhood I grew up in. He stays in the same neighborhood as Ron does. And I used to stay around the corner from Mac. But anyway. So we, me, Bria's daughter, and Mac, we all get in the car or whatever. Ron's mad because we're leaving. He don't understand why we're leaving. And I didn't mean to do it, y'all. But because I left, everybody else left. And everybody came over to Mac's house. They're like, "Oh, Nina, you going over there? I bet we coming." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." So we pull up to Mac's house. We was waiting for everybody else to get there because we figured other people was coming anyway because they said they were. And Mary pulls up. Mary wasn't at the cookout though. Mary just randomly pulled up because that's the type of spot Mac had. You just randomly pull up to the house. You know he's there. Somebody's in there. Okay. So Mary pulls up. We're catching her up on everything that happened or whatever. And she's like, "Oh my goodness, I just can't believe he acted like that. Why would he say that?" And I'm like, "Girl, listen." Okay. Girl, listen. So everybody's starting to pull up now. And we're talking about what happened. And my homeboy that was in the kitchen with her, he's still laughing about it. He like, "Man, that shit was funny as hell. Nina hauled ass out the house, man. She wasn't out playing." I'm like, "Hell no, that's some obsessed type shit right there. I don't have time for that." Guess who pulls up? None other than who? You already know. Ron. So he pulls up, still drunk, in his feelings because every fucking body left, especially the girl that he likes. So, y'all, I don't even know what type of condition that man has. Like, mentally, I really don't. Okay, because shit just won't click in his head. But he was like, "Nina, can we have a conversation outside?" Okay, fine, let's have a conversation outside. If that's going to help you understand Nina don't want you, cool. So we're sitting outside. And we're talking, and basically, he brought up that he was jealous of Papi Chulo. Well, nigga, that's not my fault. What do you want me to do about that? Okay, you jealous of somebody I used to fuck with. I don't even fuck with this man anymore, okay? Like, seriously. So, we're basically going back and forth with, how could you pick him? And then, motherfucker, I knew him before I knew you. Like, are you serious? Me and Papi Chulo was already talking the night I met Ron. But he keeps trying to convince me that me and him weren't. Just because you didn't see him with me that night, don't mean we weren't already talking, sir. Okay? Like, I don't need you telling me what's going on in my life. The fuck? So, He just still want to sit there, go back and forth, and he ain't even black, and he ain't this, and he ain't that. Motherfucker, he's everything you could never fucking be, okay? Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. So I had enough of it, and he go from insulting my ex to, well, I'm saying, you should let me take you on a date. I could treat you nice, one and done. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm good. He didn't want to get the point, so I took my ass back in the sunroom with Mac and them. He's mad because I walked off. I don't know what it is with men and why they think I'm supposed to just fall in line with what the fuck they want, okay? Without giving me any type of respect, especially, it don't work like that with this one. Damn right, I walked my ass back in that sunroom. So I walked back in the sunroom, Bria looking at my face like, oh shit. Okay, she could tell I'm irritated and pissed, even though I'm not acting like it. But she could tell though. So she like, oh shit. So she watching my mannerisms and shit. Mind you, she's 7.5 months pregnant, and she has her 3-year-old daughter with her. Now, mind you, when we first came out the house, it was 8 o'clock, and we were only planning on staying for a little while. We weren't planning on staying that long. But because shit went left at Ron's house, we're all still trying to make sense of this shit. So then my mentor comes over, and y'all, I don't know what his name is. Hold on. Okay, I had to see what name I gave him, so I didn't say his real name. My mentor's name is Matt, though. He should be at least 3, I don't know how many Sunday Mimosas ago, but the one about my mentor, though. So Matt comes over. He's looking at Bria like, this lady is pregnant, ready to pop any day now, pregnant. And then he's looking at Bria's daughter like, oh, the little girl, she look hungry. So he took them. I rode, though, to go get some McDonald's, because I don't eat McDonald's, okay? But he took them to go get some McDonald's and stuff so she could feed her baby and feed the one in her belly as well. And he trying to find out what the hell happened. He's like, Nina, what the fuck did you do to Ron? I'm like, I didn't do nothing to this man other than have good conversation like I do with anybody else, bruh. And my cousin was like, no, she seriously has done nothing with this man. She's not interested in him. Because at that point, me and Bria was telling each other everything, okay? And she was like, no, my cousin really not feeling him, like, for real. He just fucking obsessed and shit. So we come back and stuff, and he is still there, y'all, still complaining. Nina, can I talk to you from? No, you cannot talk to me about shit, nigga. And he just keeps pressing it. So Mary just comes out of nowhere at this man, which made the situation even worse. And she was like, you're being intrusive. And oh my God, when I said you could hear a pin dropping that bitch that man left out, oh, he was pissed. He was pissed. My cousin was like, yeah, we're going to finish eating our food, then can you take us home? I'm like, I got you. So I take them home. I come back because I want to talk to Mac, because that's how me and Mac were. Like, we always would discuss stuff. And I'm like, what the fuck was that shit, Mac? And he was like, I don't know, man. Something wrong with him. But Mac did end up cussing him out, because Ron did come in there cussing and stuff. And that's why Mary was like, you're being intrusive. But Ron started cussing even more. And he got mad with Mary. And Mac was mad because he like, you sitting up in here drunk, 1. And then 2, you cussing in front of a little girl. Like, that mess was pissing him off. And he actually told him to leave, now that I think about it. He didn't just leave on his own. Mac actually told him to leave. But he left and stuff, so I dropped Bree and them off, came back to Mac's house, and then we were trying to make sense of it. Another homeboy pull up. I told you, like, people just pull up all random times of the night there. Another homeboy pull up. It's like 11, 12 at this point. And he was like, I heard what the fuck happened. How the fuck you hear that shit already? He was like, man, you know people talk. He was like, I heard what the fuck happened though. He was like, you alright? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. He just bugging because I don't want to go on a fucking date with him and shit. Guess who pulls the fuck back up? None other than Ron himself. We end up going back and forth. Max shut it down because he was like, nigga, you dead wrong and you need to go and carry your ass. So basically that was the end of that situation. So, y'all, how does he end up getting back in my soft spot? The man went to jail. And I got a thing about when black men go to jail, and I just feel like I got to be there for them, and I got to support them, because it'd be really hard Because it's like, don't nobody be there for them when they get locked up. And I'm very big on mental health. So when he got locked up, I started writing him letters and stuff to keep his head up, which was working. Now, this is where the problem comes in. Because he was like, oh, I'm working on myself. I'm going to be a better person when I get out. I'm not going to be drinking like that. Da, 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 da. You know how the BS go. That jail talk. So, he ended up getting moved to another jail. So, he wrote me to let me know. I'm like, all right, cool. So, I start writing him at his new address. About 2 weeks later, I get a letter in the mail from the old jail he was at. And I'm like, oh, this must be like a delayed letter or some shit. I go, open up the letter. I start reading it. And I realize this letter did not come from Ron. I look at the name on the letter, and it's a whole entire stranger I don't even know. Somebody named Robert Morris. And I'm saying your fucking name, sir, because you ain't had no fucking right to fucking write me from jail, sir. You ain't had no fucking right to write me from jail, sir. How dare you? How dare you? This motherfucker wrote me, and he talking to me like he know me and shit. He's like, yeah, I love the fact that you do poetry, and you used to work on this street in that store. Like, he knew, like, the music store I used to manage and everything. I'm like, how the fuck does this nigga know all this shit about me? Then he told me where the fuck I stayed at. I mean, clearly, if you got my address, you know where I stay. He was like, yeah, I knew you back then because you had a fiance. And I'm like, oh, hell no. This nigga know me for real. This shit is creepy. Some strange man, I don't know what he looks like, writing me, talking about he remember me from back in the day because he wanted to holler at me, but I had somebody and where I used to work at and what I do and how fine he think I am. And I'm like, this shit is just too fucking much. I end up getting in contact with Ron. Come to find out, when they moved this dumbass being, okay, he left behind his letters, which had my address on it. It had his sister's address on it and his baby mama address on it. And this fool, Robert Morris, done wrote all three of us because he ain't had nobody to write. I'm like, what type of snapped? What type of 1-800 missing type shit is this? So, sir, now you have put not only me, but the people I lived with at the point in time, life in danger. Hell yeah, I'm pissed. And then on top of that, the dude that wrote me, Robert Morris, gonna tell me he in jail because he didn't pay child support. Oh, no. See, you think you talking to a dumbass bitch. I know how to look people motherfucking records up, okay? At least in the state of Virginia, I do. Don't ask Cal. Mind yours. So I go look him up, because I need to know who's writing me. Oh, yes. He didn't pay his child support. He was right about that. Yeah, they got his ass for that. They also got him for gun possession. They also got him for fucking domestic violence, bruh. More than one. I said, oh, hell no. Domestic violence? You out here beating bitches' asses? Don't got time for it. So, yes, Ron got a royal motherfucking cuss out from the goddamn gods. Do you hear me? Excuse me, Lord. I didn't mean to use your name like that. But yes, I gave him a cuss out on a fucking rose gold platter, baby. Because you severely got me fucked up, sir. Now, apparently, I must have got amnesia. Because when he came home, I was just so happy he was home. What do? The old gang gets together. Let's all go to Ron's house. Now, here's the problem. While Ron was locked up, okay, while he was locked up, a lot of changes happened with the crew. So, one, we won't fucking with Mac anymore, because that's when I got in that fight with his girlfriend. Here's the twist. The girlfriend that I got in the fight with, who asked I whipped that once, but twice, is also Ron's cousin. Ain't that some shit? But he keeps talking and going on and on and on about Mac and how we all should come back together and how that's still his boy. And we kept trying to tell him that nigga is not who you think he is. He's on drugs. He done turned into a whole nother type person. He is not the righteous person that we once knew. Okay? And we trying to get him to get that shit drilled in his head. But at the same time, we understand He's in shock because he just coming home. When he went in, everybody was cool. Everybody was rocking. We were doing charity work and shit together. He come back. We talking about we ain't fucking with him. Ain't nobody going over there. He go over that man house. That man house empty as fuck. Ain't nobody there but him and his cousin. So he's confused. He's thinking he's coming home to friends that love him, a big ass group, a party or whatever. And nah, bro, it ain't like that no more. Certain people don't fuck with people no more. Like, you know, life happens when you get locked up. Life on the outside don't stop. So he is shocked about it. And unfortunately, him and, did I give this dude a name? We just gonna call him Big D. One of the mutual friends. Cause y'all gonna hear about him again later on in this story. Big D. Yes. Big D was like, man, listen. Now, we call him Big D because Big D can, bench press 400 pounds. Big D ain't no small person. He's like a mini Biggie Smalls, goddammit, but with muscles, okay? But with muscles. Now, Big D is also in the merchant seaman, which is going to, y'all find out later on why I told y'all that man job occupation. Basically, before I forget, Ron is jealous of Big D because Big D is still in the merchant seaman and he not. So Big D kept telling him, yo, chill out. We not trying to hear nothing about Mac name. Ain't nobody cool with that man. We trying to celebrate the fact that you home. Now, a lot of people are scared of Big D. Not me. But a lot of people are scared of Big D because he has a humongous temper problem. And he likes to use his strength and muscles when he gets mad. And who's really trying to fucking rumble with a nigga that can bench press 400 pounds? Nobody. Okay? Nobody. So him and Ron going back and forth about it. Not even really going back and forth about it. Because Ron is drunk and he don't know what the hell going on. He don't know how fucked up this man, Mac, has been to us. He like, man, that's my friend and I love him. And we got to come together like we did in the old days, man. In the old days. Big D was like, yo, I told you stop talking about that nigga. Ron don't want to listen. Now, mind you, we in Ron's house. We actually in Ron's sunroom. Ron had a mini sunroom. Nowhere near as nice as Mac's. Mac's shit was decked out with a carpet and everything. It had fans, ceiling fans and everything in that shit. It was nice. It was real nice. But, you know, Ron, he had the regular little sunroom in the back of the house type shit. So, it ain't really all that big. Next thing I know, Big D stand up, because he was like, nigga, I told you stop talking about that nigga. And I'm like, oh, some shit about to go down. Now, I had an experience with Big D back in the day when him and Matt got into it. And Big D come hard my ass across the goddamn sunroom. Now, Mac's sunroom, I would say, is probably about 14 feet long, maybe 16, 18, somewhere between there. I know it's definitely close to 15 or over 15 for damn sure, okay? It's pretty big. It might be 20. It's a pretty big sunroom. And we were at one end of that sunroom, and Big D come hard my ass crossed the other end of the sunroom. So yeah, when he stood up on Ron, I wasn't getting in that shit. And guess what? Ron didn't want to shut up, and Big D pushed his ass, and Ron went flying across that goddamn sunroom like a cartoon character, feet in the air and everything. I ain't never seen no shit like that. So as crazy as this might sound to y'all, they made up after that shit. I'm sorry. You push me across my motherfucking sunroom and I end up fucking up my shoulders and shit. When I say that man fucked up his shoulders, I'm pretty sure a bone got popped out of place or something. And I'm flying feet up in the air across my shit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Ain't too much makeup past that. But, yeah. They ended up making up, though, somehow. I don't know the specifics of that, though. But basically, he was on the prowl for a job, and I was in between jobs, and we both got, well, technically, I don't have felonies, but I'm still looked at as a fucking felon, which is the sucky ass part, so still hard to get a job when it says you have not one, but 2 charges of assault on police officer on your record. Who's the fuck trying to hire me? Nobody. So, can't even get a job at the jail, goddammit, okay? So, we out there looking for a job. I ended up finding one. Naturally, as a good friend, if we're looking for jobs together and I find one, I'm going to put you on, especially if they're hiring other people. So that's what I did. I ended up getting this man a job at this warehouse that I was starting at. Our orientation was the same day. Went up there, talked to the rep and everything, y'all. Do y'all know This nigga don't show up for orientation. You don't show up to orientation, you ain't got no job. And I'm sitting here like, wow, really? You sitting here making me look bad in front of one of our new bosses? Like, are you fucking kidding me, bro? Like, that's one thing I don't play about. I don't play about helping people and then you fucking make me look bad. That shit will make me cut you off real quick. But somehow, okay, but somehow, I did not cut this man off still. Even though he done violated so many times up to this point, I still did not cut this man off. Now, his excuse why he didn't show up was he ended up finding a job at a better place that was paying more. Okay, whatever. Do you. Now, at this new job, he ended up meeting this new girl. We're going to call her by her fucking name because, bitch, I ain't got time to be making up no fake name for you. The bitch name is Joy, right? So, he ends up meeting her and they start liking each other. And I'm still at this warehouse, right? Hold to that thought because it's going to come back. Now, while I'm working at this warehouse, he had to come pick me up because one of our childhood friends had passed away. And I go to the funeral. I come back from the funeral the next day. Now, my job at the point in time depended on me for every fucking thing. Like, I knew the answers that the supervisors knew that nobody else knew because I was around the supervisors so much. I'd be asking questions. Well, how do you do this? How you work that? What's that for? And they would tell me because I was a damn good worker. So, people would come get me in the warehouse. When they couldn't find a supervisor, they coming to get me. Nina, can you fix this for me? I'm like, yeah, I got you. So, this girl, apparently, she needed help on, one of the scanning guns or whatever, and she was like, Nina, how do I, because she was like, they told me come to you, how do I do this and this, that, and the third? And I'm like, just hit the back button and the blue button. And I kept walking. I never stopped. I'm busy, okay? We is in a big ass warehouse and I'm the fucking verifier the whole entire warehouse is depending on. I don't have time for this. Somebody else could have answered that question for you. But I still answered that shit. But I just didn't stop walking. I already knew what she was asking me when she was asking how do you do this. I said hit the back button and the blue button. Simple. This bitch get mad because I didn't stop long enough and look her in the face and answer it. So I hear her fussing halfway across the goddamn warehouse. So one of my leads come over there and he was like, damn, Nina, that girl pissed with you. I said, what girl? He said, you ain't hear that girl going off over there on the other side of the warehouse. I said, yeah, I heard that. So what the fuck she pissed with me for? He was like, because she said she asked you a question and you ain't answer it properly. I said, are you fucking kidding me? I went the fuck off. He caught that shit. And I'm like, I ain't cussing you out, but I'm really pissed. I just put a childhood friend in the ground. I just lost another friend recently. I realized I ain't got time for this shit. And he was like, Nina, take the rest of the day off. Bet. So who come and get me? Ron and his new boo. And that's when I found out his new boo was a dodo head. This bitch legit got us riding through the city with all 4 windows down while we're smoking. Weed was not legal at the point in time. I was like, yeah, take me the fuck home. Okay, take me the fuck home. But I guess she found out that he liked me like that. And that's when that bitch started not liking me. So, y'all, guess what? The dude from jail found me on Facebook when he got out and tried to add me. So, I had to make a phone call and royally cuss Ron out again because now this man done found me on Facebook. Okay, he know what I look like and everything. He can find me on other pages even if I block him because he know my Facebook name now. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you so much. Not really. So that once again put a damper on our relationship. How do he figure he can make it up to me? Needed a job. Guess where he worked at? The shipyard. Out here, we call that money. Okay, the shipyard, they call that money. It's really not, because most of the people working in the shipyard, quiet as it's kept, it's still broke. They still broke. They still broke, bro. Don't y'all let no job make you feel like you out here filthy fucking rich and they can take that shit from you anytime. Don't you do that. Don't you do that. So yeah, he ended up giving me a job at the shipyard. And I was there for 6 months, and I ended up having beef with bitches because I'm pretty, because I dress too cute for the shipyard, because I'm intelligent, because all the important bosses like me, because I'm a hard worker, just a whole bunch of bullshit. And of course, to top it off, one day Ron comes in, and he wasn't even working, but he comes up there when we was clocking out though. So he's dressing his regular shit. Of course, he has a Lexus sitting on rims, tinted out. He gonna park in front of the gate so everybody could see him. He show up with his fitted on, his nice long john, whatever the fuck the shit is, the long sleeve t-shirts and shit, the thermal. He got on his iced out Cuban chain, basically just looking like I want attention is what he was looking like to me. And he got it from all of them bitches. But what he don't understand is he created a problem. Because he walked with me to the shop and took my fire extinguisher in the shop. Now, first off, it's a rule in the shipyard. Everybody got to carry their own shit. You're not supposed to be letting nobody carry your fire extinguisher. So they was mad about that. And then they mad because everybody like him. Including this 50-year-old lady who was a hoe, y'all. When I say a hoe, I can't even tell y'all how I know this lady was a hoe. Because I'm not trying to discuss nobody. I'm not trying to make nobody freaked out and shit. But that lady was a hoe. And that lady stopped talking to me because that man walked me in there with my fire extinguisher. Isn't it crazy how the person you don't want everybody else wants? Because they don't know what that person is full of. And you, sir, are full of a whole bunch of shit. Because, it gets juicier. Here we go. So basically, y'all, the biddies at the shipyard was mad. Because we eating lunch together and shit all the time. And he don't get them the time of day. And he's still pressing me even at lunch. Nina, can we be together? Nina, can we be together? No, and hell to the no. No, we cannot. You are not my type. He thinking my type is, you like light-skinned dudes and this, that, and the third. It ain't got shit to do with complexion. It got to do with energy. It got to do with conversation, values, morals, things of that, okay? Do you have integrity, sir? Okay, things of that nature. So, yeah, he's still pressing me. And I knew, and my cousin told me, she was like, he got a drinking problem. Because how he acted that night at Mac House, you should have stopped fucking with him then. And Bria has never liked him since that night, how he acted in front of her and her daughter. She did not like that shit. She was very uncomfortable because he was putting on a motherfucking show. He was putting on a motherfucking show. Okay? And she was like, the fact that he drinks like that just means abuse will be coming eventually, Nina. Even though he may not be trying to hurt you, but the fact that he's obsessed with you like that, that man gonna hurt you. Oh, okay. So, fast forward to the next year, right? I get invited to go to a house party. Bria was at this house party that her third baby daddy friends was having. I'm not trying to be shady, but that's just what it is. I mean, shit. And she wanted me to come over because she was like, I know you're going to have a good time. You need to relax. You be stressing too much. Come have fun with me, cuzzo. Alright, cool. It ain't that far from where I live anyway. Probably a good 10-minute ride. If that, I'm on my way. So, me being me, number one, I'm not going to nobody's house I don't fucking know. Okay? And I don't bring no drink for me. Now, fuck bringing a drink for your house. I'ma bring a drink for me, so I ain't got to drink your shit. So therefore, we ain't got no issues or problems, okay? So I'm thinking I'm doing me a favor by bringing my own drink. And and then it was a light drink at that, because I'm like, I got to drive and shit, and I don't know these people, so I ain't trying to be drunk, and I ain't really trying to be too tipsy. So I got the, Seagram's Jamaica Me Happy, for those who know about it. Oh, that used to be my shit. I ain't had one of them probably since that night, but that used to be my shit, though. So, I'm like, I'm gonna go pick up Ron. And she was like, no, don't go get him. And I'm like, he just came home again. And, he just needs to relax. He needs to get away from the people that I used to hang around, my old neighborhood. Because at that point, I stopped fucking with everybody out there. But I was still fucking with him. And probably like a couple of other people that I was still cool with. Like my mentor and a homegirl y'all gonna hear me tell her son named Mimosa about. So, she really didn't want me to bring him, but I wanted to bring him because I'm like, it's a different crowd, it's a different neighborhood, he just need to be, around some whole other type energy to see that it's other people that you could be friends with other than the people in the neighborhood. So, when we get there, because he also bought his own drink too, because he was like, oh yeah, but I ain't about to be going up in there, looking like I'm begging and shit. So, he went and got his own drink too. And we go up in there, and it seemed like it was a cool vibe at first. I'm gonna be honest, you know, it was a different crowd. It was a mix, honey. It was a mix. I wasn't used to that. I'm like, okay. Like I don't party with a little bit of everybody, but it just seemed like a strange mix of friends to me. So we get there. And this girl named, we're gonna call her Sensei. I don't remember the girl name for real. But she decided, because we were new though, she wanted to get us to loosen up, because she was really acting stank, y'all, to be quite honest, because it's a new girl and this, that, and the third. So I picked up on it, but I'm like, I'm not here for this bitch. I'm here for my cousin. Fuck all that shit she talking about. So Bria made me and Ron some drinks when we first got there. It was Bacardi mixed with something, I don't know. But she was looking at my drink and she was like, no, you're gonna need something stronger. And I'm like, no, I don't. I don't need anything stronger. This is good. What are you talking about? She's like, no, you're drinking with me. We're not doing no punk ass drinks tonight. And I'm like, okay, where has my cousin gone? Because I don't know who this bitch is. She was like, oh yeah, a lot of things have changed. Okay, I guess I can credit that to the new baby daddy, yes. So, she made the drinks though, and they were really good. And we in there, we playing spades and shit. We having a good time. We dancing, we partying, we twerking. Y'all, we just having a good time. We recording videos and shit, just having a real good time. And I'm like, okay, this is what I really needed. I needed to relax. Plus, it was June. So, you know, and it was like the very, very beginning of summer. So, you know, people's ready to get together, drink, have a good time. So Ron started getting jealous because I was dancing with this fine ass dude from Jersey. When I say fine, I mean he's fine, okay? He's black, white, Puerto Rican, something else. I think Filipino, Guam. It's like he a lot of God, okay? And you can see it all in him that he's mixed with all them different things. Like, he's just a beautiful creation. So we was just dancing and having a good time, but we was also having conversation on the side too. And he was like, yo, you cool as hell. So I guess Ron started picking up on that, and he started getting a little jealous. Now, the girl Sensei, or whatever her name is, she basically was eyeing us and stuff, and she was like, oh, let me make y'all some more drinks. Let me freshen y'all drinks up. I'm tipsy, I'm having a good time, so I start being trusting. Cause I don't let people make my goddamn drink, okay? Now, Bria can make my drink because that's my cousin. I know she got me. But I don't know you like that, but because I'm tipsy, I let her, and she was like, yeah, I'm a bartender, believing that shit, right? Bitch ain't no goddamn bartender. I find out later on. And I found out later on, she did this shit on purpose. So, the dude I was dancing with tells me way after the party, he was like, yeah, Sensei, I was in the kitchen with Sensei when she was making y'all drinks, and she put a shitload of tequila in y'all shit. I was like, what you mean she put a shitload of tequila in there? He said she filled the cup up with tequila and put a little bit of juice in there. So it was straight tequila me and him were drinking. So I guess she was trying to see how we were going to act. And let me tell you something. I can't stand people that try to get you drunk on purpose to try to see how you're going to act, because you do not know how that person is going to act. And if they do something crazy or stupid, your ass is partially responsible for that shit. And the reason why I also don't like that shit is because Big D, who is also about to get brought back into this story, he does the same thing. He's like, yeah, I like to get people drunk on purpose when I first meet them because I want to see who they really are. That's not cool at all. And if you do that shit, you need to stop it. But I found that shit out way after, because if I did, me and that bitch would have fought right then and there, okay? We would have. Now, I realized, okay, bitch, you a little too goddamn drunk. You need to sober up some. So I have this thing where I sober up when I know I have to drive and I've been drinking, where I'll eat 2 pieces of bread and I'll drink a cup of water. When I say that shit gets me sober enough to drive every time. But I'm like, damn, this shit taking a long time for me to sober up some. But I had got to a point where I felt like I was good enough, and I actually was not good enough to drive, okay? I really wasn't. But I thought I was. But of course, being drunk, I'm thinking I'm good enough, and I'm not. Not thinking I just drank a whole cup of fucking tequila on top of the Bacardi, on top of the Jamaica Me Happy. Now, Bacardi I can handle, but tequila, I don't fuck with tequila, because tequila turn you into another type of person. That's them real spirits that be coming out, okay? And that's why I don't fuck with that shit. So I'm like, all right, it's time to go. Now, I was tipsy, drunk, tipsy. But Ron was drunk. So drunk to the point where the person who owned the house, who is Sensei's boyfriend, had to help me hold this man up while we walked to my car. Now, the problem is, apparently he was so drunk out his mind, he forgot the type chick that I am. And this man told him, Nina, you just so fine, Nina. Oh my God, Nina, you just so fine. Do you know this man grabbed my ass, bro? When I say I turned around so quick, because the owner of the house, he was like, he got him. He was like, unlock the door. He's like, I got him. So I'm going to go unlock the door, and this man grabs my ass. I turn around so quick. I'm like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'll drop your ass right here in this yard. And the owner of the house was like, oh my God. He was like, please don't do that, miss. Miss, please don't do that. Please, miss, don't do that. He said, I don't want no problems. Please don't do that. But I guess he was saying that because he know if I hit him, I guess he was thinking he was going to hit me back and then he was going to have to fight him, and he didn't want to have to fight him. So I go in the house to go get Bria, because I am pissed at this point. I don't know why I go get Bria for, because Bria punk ass can't do shit. But I go get her because I'm trying not to cause no problems, and I'm trying not to get the police called on nobody, and I'm trying not to go to jail. So I just go get Bria because I know she is the one person at that point in my life that could calm me down. So I'll go barging in the house over the music and everything. I'm like, Bria, this nigga touched me. This nigga grabbed my ass. I'm about to fucking go to jail. And she was like, what? So she goes out on the porch. Mind you, she's drunk. That liquid courage got in her. So she go out on the porch all hype, but she not about to do shit. She ain't even come off the porch, okay? And so her boyfriend's mad. Everybody else, they trying to figure out why the fuck she mad, because they know she a punk and she don't do shit. So if she mad, everybody else about to get mad, because they're like, what the fuck is the problem? So they find out this nigga grabs me, and they're like, but you brought this nigga with you, but they still ready to whoop this nigga ass. And I'm like, he's just my homeboy. They're like, we thought y'all was together. I'm like, hell no, he's just my homeboy. Just because I danced on him don't mean shit, okay? I was tipsy. I was just having fun. Big mistake, okay? Big mistake. So Bria's boyfriend, baby daddy, whatever, and Sensei's boyfriend ends up taking him home, and I end up staying on the porch with the cute dude, and we end up talking for a little bit. Now here's the crazy shit, okay? Here's another reason why you should listen to your intuition. As I'm talking to the cute dude on the porch who has his shit together, okay? He's an outstanding father. He's in college. He works. He has a car. He's not depending on anyone for anything. That's when me and Devil Dick started talking. And Devil Dick literally called me in the midst of all of that shit. And he was trying to come see me. I'm like, sir, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. He was talking about he just left the studio. You ain't coming to see nobody 5 o'clock in the morning and we ain't never met. Oh no, you can see me when the sun up though. But I basically ended up dissing the cute dude that was nice and had his shit together for Devil Dick's toxic ass. Yeah, still kind of regretting that one a little bit, but I didn't know what was going to happen. Shit, I need to do a Sunday Mimosa about Devil Dick. But I ended up staying there for a little bit so I could sober up some more and calm the fuck down. But Sensei over there popping the fuck off and shit. Like, she about to do something. She was like, and if my man would have got in it, then I would have had to whoop this bitch ass. I'm like, who else was she about to whoop? And the cute dude was like, don't say nothing. He was like, she just drunk. She not like that anyway. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I'm about it. He was like, I could tell. I'm like, I'm really about that shit. I will fight her on her own fucking porch. Shit, the fuck wrong with you? So, y'all, that was the end of that story. So we're just going to skip over a whole bunch of shit, and we're just going to get to the main event here, because this shit is long enough as is. But basically, y'all, from there to the point of the story we about to get to, it was still the same shit. He's still getting drunk, still fucking up, doing shit to piss me off, still trying to be with me, and I don't want to be with him type shit, okay? So, I started noticing with the people from the old neighborhood, they weren't really about shit. And that's when I started really separating myself from everybody. Cause I'm like, these motherfuckers real life ain't about shit. Like, they just sit around, drink, and talk about people. And Ron was like, why you don't come around no more like you used to? I was like, oh, honestly, I'm focused on getting my life together and shit. I was like, all y'all do is sit around, drink, and talk about people. I was like, I could be doing other shit with my life, yo. So apparently, Ron, being the bitch ass nigga that he is, went back and told Big D, I said all Big D do is sit around, drink, and talk about people. I did not say Big D. I said all of y'all, okay? But I don't know how Big D felt like it was just him I was talking about. But that's the type of person Ron is, so he probably hyped it up and made him feel that way. So this is when my best friend ended up moving in. Me, her, and my sister was riding through the old neighborhood because that was the quickest way to get to my house. And I had to pee so bad, and I knew I wasn't going to make it home. And I ain't ever had to call nobody and say, yo, I'm sorry, but I got to use the bathroom. Can I use the bathroom at your house? And I had to call Ron because we was literally about to go past the street. And I was like, yo, I got to pee so bad. I'm sorry, but can I come use your bathroom? Oh, yeah, Nina, yeah, no problem, Nina. Of course. Nigga never told me Big D is over here, by the way. I'm like, okay. I go in, Big D sitting right there. I'm like, oh, shit. I don't give a fuck about this right now. I got to pee. I'm like, is the bathroom clear? He was like, bathroom clear. Back, went straight to the bathroom. I come out, and they standing on the porch. And I was like, thanks around for letting me use your bathroom. What's up, D? And I'm about to go. Because, like, shit, I ain't rude. I can fucking speak now. Like, I just stopped coming around. It won't like, oh, fuck them niggas, this, that, and the third. It's just, I have more productive shit I need to be doing. This is when I was starting to get into doing my poetry too, and I was already performing, and they knew I was performing. These motherfuckers never showed up to no performances. They knew I was vending at different events. These niggas never showed up to any of my vending events to come support me. So that's when I started realizing, y'all really not my friends. Y'all rather just sit around and talk shit about people. So me and Big D on the porch and shit, and Ron was like, I need to go in the house to check on my granddaddy. Just out of nowhere. And I'm like, okay, nigga. And D was like, yeah, so what's up, Nina? And I'm like, I'm great. How are you? Okay, like completely blind to the fact that Ron already told this man that I said I don't want to come around no more because basically they ain't about shit. So he was like, yeah, so why you don't come around no more? I'm like, to be quite honest with you, because I feel like I could be doing more productive shit. I feel like y'all like drinking and talking about people, and that's not what I'm into. And he was like, well, I'm just saying, Nina, like, you could have came and talked to me about that, though. You could have came and talked to me personally. I thought we had the type of friendship where we could talk to each other about this shit. You my little sis. Not knowing that this nigga had a crush on me, but people had been telling me. So I'm like, why is this man so emotional? Because I don't want to be around him no more. It's because he had a crush on me, and he knew I didn't like him like that. And I really looked at him like a brother. Well, don't call me sis if you want me to be more than your sister, then, nigga. You giving off the wrong type of impression, okay? Shit, I ain't no fucking mind reader. Now, I did not know Ron ran his bitch ass in the house because he was talking shit about me and he didn't want to get pulled into it or get called out. So I told Big D what it was, and I'm like, look, I just don't want to be around that. Like, y'all see me out here making moves, doing this, doing that, and doing that. And he was like, yeah, and we're proud of you. Okay, you could be proud of me, but I got shit to do. I can't be hanging out with y'all like that no more. He gets mad. Well, I wish you the best in life. Stomps in the house. Grown ass man. Stomp in the house. I'm like, alright, cool. Alright, back. I'm thinking that shit is over with. Now, mind you, my homegirl that I gotta make the Sunday Mimosa about, she calls me. I want to say it was the next day. She called me. It was the next night, actually. And she was like, sis, what the fuck going on? I'm like, what you talking about, sis? And she was like, yeah, Big D called me. I'm like, what? Oh, this man going in. Come to find out, he been calling her, because he didn't call. He talked to Ron that night. He called the homegirl that I'm going to tell y'all about in another Sunday Mimosa. And he called a couple of other people asking, what did somebody say that I said about Nina for her to stop fucking with me? Nina never said that you said anything about her for her to stop fucking with you. But the fact that you calling around to different people and you saying that lets Nina know you've been talking about Nina. Nina's definitely good on you. Now, this was, matter of fact, just fast forward 3 years later. Okay? 2 years later, 2 years later, fast forward, right? I don't know why I ended up calling Ron or Ron called me. Or I don't know how we ended up on the phone. I am past all of that old neighborhood shit. And I'm thinking that these niggas are too. I won't hang around Ron like that no more either, though, because I realize, nigga, you not about shit. So, Ron just so happened to be over Big D house. So, I was like, oh, put Big D on the phone. Because, mind you, I really am past this shit. But I'm like, you know what? I ain't talking to the nigga in a minute. I'm not going to be rude. I just want to see how he doing for real. Because I did have love for that man as a brother in my heart. Oh, he get on the phone. What you want to talk to me for? We ain't got shit to talk about. You don't fuck with me. Da, da. And I'm like, yo. I'm like, where all this coming from? I'm like, yo, what's the problem, man? He was like, last time I heard you don't fuck with me. You be talking about me and this and that. I don't be talking about you, yo. What the fuck is you talking about? So I ended up pulling up on him. Cause I'm like, yo, we need to have a conversation. This man brings me in his house. He got me going in the back, seeing his grandma on her deathbed, basically laying in the hospital bed in the back. She can't talk. She can't move. He like, you see this? This is my heart. This is my world. I'm like, okay. And he don't even know I'm sitting there smiling at his grandma. Cause I'm thinking about my grandma that done passed away and how I couldn't go see her. And just to see somebody grandma made me smile. So we end up going to the front room, having a conversation, and the whole time this man is cussing me out. And I let him come. Like, I realized in the midst of this conversation, he is defending his finances and why he still live with his people, even though he in a merchant seaman. He's defending why he smokes, why he drinks. He's defending why he take care of his family. And I'm like, why is this man sitting here explaining all this shit to me? Then it clicked in my head. Ron sat up there and said all that shit that Ron said about Big D, told Big D I said this shit. Ron jealous of Big D because he in a merchant seaman. Ron jealous of Big D because he got a car, because he can actually afford to take care of his mama and his grandma, and Ron can't. So he sat up there and flipped all that shit and said, I said it, but Ron said it. And I ain't even snitch on Ron and tell Big D Ron said that shit, because I'm thinking Ron's still on the porch. I said, well, let's go out here to the porch, go get Ron. We go out to the porch, this nigga Ron is gone. I called that man, cussed him out for filth on his voicemail. He ain't pick up. I still ain't snitch on him and tell Big D. This nigga was the one talking all this shit. Got the whole neighborhood mad at me because he going around telling people, oh, she been talking shit about y'all. She been talking shit about y'all. No, I said I don't fuck with these people, but I ain't been talking shit about them, though. I'm gonna find out the neighborhood been talking shit about me because of this bitch nigga. He feel like he needs some type of alliance, I guess, right? So I get a strange phone call 3 days later. And then they texted me and they was like, yeah, what's up, Nina? I'm trying to get a tarot reading, da-da-da-da. I called the shit back. Who is this? Oh, I'm Ron Cousin. You remember you did a tarot reading for me? Yeah, I remember I did a free tarot reading for you. What's up? I actually charge. He was like, all right, that ain't no problem. That ain't no problem. I hear Ron talking shit in the background. Man, she ain't no real friend to me, bruh. Real friends don't cut real friends off. He drunk than a motherfucker. Now, mind you, his mother had passed away. In like the last year of us being friends, his mother had passed away. So I was like, put this nigga on the phone. He get on the phone. Nina, that's fucked up. You just gonna cut me off like that. You know I need a friend right now. This, that, and the third. First off, sir, you lied on me. And you said I'm saying shit that I didn't say about people. And now you got people having issues with me talking shit about me, not thinking how that could affect my career down the fucking line, sir. Fuck you. I'm like, just answer this. Why would you lie on me? Nina, you don't understand. You ain't lose your mama. My mama died and da-da-da. I'm like, nigga, are you serious? You really blaming this on the fact that you lost your mother? That you out here lying on people and acting like a little ass bitch? Yeah. Really? Click. Ain't talked to that man since. I checked my phone probably earlier this year, because I didn't know you could check block text messages. He sent me so many text messages talking about how I'm immature and how this shit is high school and how I could talk all the shit I want to talk about him and how I could send people to his house to shoot his house up. Sir, you ain't even worth the bullets. You ain't even worth the phone call. Okay? You not. So y'all, this is a Sunday in Mimosa about why you need to listen to your intuition and cut a motherfucker off when you know you need to. So the lessons that I learned, he was a drunk, he was a liar, and he was shallow. And that did not match my energy, and I paid for it until I cut him off. So this is why you need to trust your intuition over everything else. So, all right, babies. I'm your girl, Virgo Garden. If you didn't know that shit, I bet you know that shit now. How to follow me, how to book me, and how to get my wonderful, beautiful, amazing products that you all love so much will be down below in the description box. I love you, babies. Always trust that intuition over everything else, because it will never lie to you. Love you, babies. Mwah.